The Big 12 championship is set. It will be a rematch between Joey McGuire and Kalani Sitake. BYU Cougars, who are ranked 11th in the nation, 11-1. They've only been beaten by Texas Tech in the 29-7 smackdown in Texas. Faces the number 5, 11-1 Texas Tech Raiders, Red Raiders. Now, they lost to Arizona State in a close one at Arizona State. Hey, not every team can be, they can still be dominant and still lose a game once in a while. So these two teams are who could be headed to the college football playoff. Now, if Texas Tech loses, that could mean that they'll make it and BYU makes it into into the college football playoff. This is going to be interesting. It really is. This is something that we have to pay attention to. Bear Bachmeyer for BYU has been putting up some really good numbers. And when Baron Morton is healthy, he's putting up really good numbers. So we're going to take a look at this by the numbers. Of course, that's what I do. The numbers say a lot about this game. Like BYU, I like Texas Tech. This is going to be an interesting game right here. But, the game's already been played once this year, and, both Kalani Sitake and Jerry Maguire are excellent coaches, have both been at their schools for a little while. Kalani Sitake's been at BYU since they were an independent since 2016. McGuire's been there since 2022. Now, they all of a sudden had a massive influx of money come in because, well, schools can do that now. But before I get into this game, hit like and subscribe if you like college football. Hit like and subscribe if you like college sports, because after I get done with college football, I do women's college gymnastics and I cover some other sports here and there. So, if you want to keep up with what's happening, hit like, hit subscribe, and let's get into this game. Hey folks, before we get into this video, let me stress a few things. The team that makes the fewest mistakes will win. Play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. These are the first two of General Robert Nealon's 7-game maxims. They're also, as been proven by folks that use these maxims in their life, some of whom went into combat in World War II, it can help you shape your life a little bit better. So, enjoy the sports on this channel, but also think about this. Think about those two maxims. Now, let's get into this. Now, as this is taking place in Texas at the AT&T Stadium, BYU might as well be considered a visiting school. Bear Bachmeyer, 208 of 322, 64.6 completion rate, 2,593 yards, 14 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, been sacked 14 times. Not bad numbers. It looks more G5-ish numbers than it does Power Conference, but he's still an amazing quarterback, a very amazing quarterback. L.J. Martin, 217 carries, 1,229 yards, 49-yard long run, 11 touchdowns. Bear Bachmeyer, 137 carries, 529 yards, 11 touchdowns. That's what makes a difference for him. Parker Kingston, 22 carries, 103 yards, 3 touchdowns. Cody Hagan, 9 for 93, 2 touchdowns. Got a couple other guys got 1 each, and you got 30 touchdowns on the ground. Through the air, Parker Kingston's got 57 catches, 804 yards, 75-yard long run, 5 touchdowns. Chase Roberts, 44 catches, 713 yards, 85-yard long run, 5 touchdowns. Carson Ryan, 35 for 472, 3 touchdowns. So that, plus Noah Moiki has got a touchdown, so that's their 14 touchdowns right there. A little bit unbalanced on their offense. You shut down their run game, you shut them down. But getting to Bachmeyer's a little difficult. Now, they do have 28 sacks on opposing quarterbacks. That's pretty good numbers. 31 pass deflections, 16 interceptions. They've scored on 3 of those. That's a pretty decent pass defense. Them getting to the opposing quarterback, not bad numbers at all. Now, here's a weakness. Only 5 forced fumbles, 6 fumble recoveries. They're not stripping the ball like they need to. That's something that they probably need to go back and teach their team. Falatau Satula, who's a safety. Now, I don't like this. This is a G5 move. When your safety is having to do this much work, you got a problem. He's got 70 tackles. Hey, at least he's getting in there. 1 sack. Another thing I don't like is when your safety has to come up for a sack, your defensive line's not doing their job. They're also not stripping the ball, so you know. 2 pass deflections, 3 interceptions, one of which he carried back for a touchdown. He's also got 2 forced fumbles. Statula is doing a lot of work. Isaiah Glaster, second leading tackler, 54 tackles. Little bit of a drop off there. 3 sacks, 1 pass deflection, 2 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery. Jack Kelly, 52 tackles, 9 sacks. That man really is doing the work. 1 pass deflection, 2 forced fumbles. And another safety, Tanner Wall, 4th leading tackler, 52 tackles, 4 interceptions. Scored on 1 of them. 4 interceptions, that's doing some work. These guys are doing the work. Their safeties are being a little overworked. If you've got your safety coming up for a sack, Now, they got 67 penalties on 556 yards, 46 yards a game, somewhat disciplined with an offensive line that's doing its job. Bear Bachmeyer is carrying the load in multiple ways. He's RPO. This is what you expect from BYU. LJ Martin doing the work. Parker Kingston doing the work, as is Chase Roberts. They've got guys that are doing the work on both sides of the ball. I mean, Tanner Wall is doing amazing. Falatau Satula is doing amazing. I mean, they are doing the work. They show why they're why they are 11-1. Looking at this, you have to wonder, at certain teams being ranked ahead of them, but hey, this is a dominant BYU team. You expect the Cougs to be just like this because Kalani Sitake has built I don't know if you'd call it a dynasty, but has built something solid there. Now, the Joey McGuire-led Texas Tech Red Raiders. Baron Morton, 181 of 267, 67.8 completion rate, 2,428 yards, 20 touchdowns through the air, 4 interceptions, 15 sacks. Now, he does have a good backup, Will Hammond. Let me check something real quick. Yeah, Will Hammond is Texas Tech guy. This is something that they keep talking about all the money. These guys are Texas Tech guys. They're just staying there. 69 and 109, 63.3% completion rate, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 3 sacks. So they got 21 sacks on the year, 31 touchdowns through the air, 8 interceptions. Really good numbers. This quarterback room knows what it's doing. Rushing. Cameron Dickey, 180 carries, 1,023 yards, 71-yard long run, 13 touchdowns. Jacoby Williams, 127 carries, 707 yards, 6 touchdowns. Will Hammond, 43 carries, 299 yards. Got a 64-yard long run, got 5 touchdowns on the ground. Baron Morton hasn't rushed one in, so you get a dual look offense when they're in play. So they've got 29 touchdowns on the ground. Followed up by their very balanced offense here. Caleb Douglas, 53 catches, 823 yards, 61-yard long run, 7 touchdowns. Reggie Virgil, 47 catches, 590 yards, got 6 touchdowns. Coy Eakin, 44 catches, 560 yards, 4 touchdowns. Terrence Carter, 43 catches, 530 yards, 50-yard long run, 5 touchdowns. Starting to see this trend here. They're throwing it to multiple people. They've got 4 guys with 2 catches. A couple other guys have 1 catch for their 31 catches or touchdowns via catches. With 29 rushing touchdowns, hey, good offense. Now, They got 37 sacks on opposing quarterbacks. These guys know how to get to the opposing quarterbacks, and they're doing it at an elite level. 51 pass deflections. That's going elite level. 14 interceptions. The only thing is they've only scored on one of those. But now hear these numbers. This is where it really gets into the elite category. They got 19 forced fumbles and 13 fumble recoveries. That's elite level. This defense knows what it's doing. Now, a little worrisome here. Jacob Rodriguez has getting a little too into everything. 101 tackles, 1 sack, 6 pass deflections, 4 interceptions. He's got 7 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, one that he took back for a touchdown. Think about that. Jacob Rodriguez is their defense. Ben Roberts, 69 tackles. That's why I say there's a little bit of a drop off there that's a little concerning, almost 40. Your other guys need to do a little bit more work. 4 pass deflections, 1 interception, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery. See, they're still doing the work, but they, you know, Cole Wisniewski, 67 tackles, 1 sack, 5 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery. And John Curry, 57 tackles, half a sack, 3 pass deflections, 2 fumble recoveries. Oh, and he also took one back for a touchdown. That defense is elite. Now, penalties, 83 of 708, 59 yards a game. Could be a little bit more disciplined. This offense knows how to score. It's very balanced on how they score, and they have so many weapons. Now, let me keep saying this. These guys are Texas Tech Red Raiders through and through. Most of these are not transfers, which is why I kept hearing, Nico Iamaleava might go to Texas Tech. If I was Texas Tech, I wouldn't touch that boy with a 10-foot pole. When you got Baron Morton, Will Hammond in there doing what they need to do, you don't need somebody else. You got Cameron Dickey, Jacoby Williams. Hey, why else? Who else do you need? I mean, Reggie Virgil, Caleb Douglas. This offense is a scoring machine. This defense, it really does look like a elite defense. This team has been built to win. You know what? I'm looking at this game. It might as well be a home game for Texas Tech. They don't have to travel that far to get to the stadium. They've already shown that they're an elite team. They had a bad game. Okay, they had one bad game. What they did to BYU earlier in the season, most likely going to happen again. Can BYU win this game? Sure. But Joey McGuire and the Red Raiders are going to have to make some mistakes. And with that defense, I don't think they're going to. Even if the offense makes some mistakes, I don't think that BYU is going to handle their defense. I really do think that Texas Tech's going to win this rematch. Unfortunately, that will mean that there will not be a second team in the college football playoff from the Big 12, but Texas Tech is going to be dominating for a while. I like what Joey McGuire's built there. Okay, ooh, but they've been spending money. Okay, and you don't think that the SEC was spending money all these years? I know 100% that SEC teams were spending money before it was legal to. Jeremy Pruitt aside, that kind of stupidity, there was money being handed out even back then. Now, yeah, it's legal to do so. Texas Tech is showing what it means to build a roster that stays at the school. They're not using the transfer portal as much. They're just keeping the talent that they've got there. This Texas Tech team, let me tell you something. They're the real deal. But so is BYU. Let me get that straight for you. BYU is the real deal too. They deserve to be in the college football playoff, but because they're a Big 12 school instead of an SEC or Big 10 school, they're not going. That's the sad part about it. They're not Notre Dame. They're a Big 12 school. And Big 12 is considered a lesser than, but BYU, I think, can make an impact this year. But Texas Tech's going to show them this year that we've got a different Big 12. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. I hope that you liked the video. I really do. Hit like and subscribe for me, because I'm going to come out with far more videos, and you get all kinds of chance. Also, don't forget, my link tree's down below. You can get to my Patreon that way, or go to my other stuff. This has been Paul. Have a good day.